So this is our Dbms project for the semester. We have created a simple library management system with basic functionalities like adding new books, borrowing a book, returning a book, and also a basic report of the borrowing history of different users. We can add a category name of the book, for example, let me add fiction. So the category has been added successfully, and you can see the category list somewhere added already before, and it gives category ID to it, which is used as a foreign key in another table. So this is the authors tab where we can add new authors, for example. So the author had been added successfully, and we can see different authors. So is the first author name that I have added. Now we can go to the books tab. Here we can add the book name and also assign book ID to an author. So let's see title. So the book has been added successfully, and also we can assign the book ID with the author with the book ID and the author ID. For example, if we see the book, the book ID, that book was already added. So that book is now assigned to the.
Now we have the procedure for borrowing a book. For this, we have to provide the book ID. For example, if I provide 14, member name, member ID is 1. Now borrow date is and now we can see the book is added in the borrowing book with the return date of date after 3 months of the date. And this is realized using a stored procedure which we have stored in our database. To view that, so yes, this is the stored procedure for borrowing a book. This takes into three parameters and checks whether the book ID matches the book ID which we have entered in the table, and checks its status if it's available. Then if these two conditions are met, then the book is entered and the book's status is set to borrowed. And this way, in this way, the borrowing works. Now we also have a stored procedure for returning the book. Yes. So for returning the book, it takes into account two things, that is the borrowing ID and return date. And if if borrowing ID matches the borrowing ID that we have entered, and it is labeled as borrowed, then the borrowing table is updated and return date is set to the return date updated by the user, and status available is changed. Status borrowed is changed to available, and in this way the return book procedure is realized. Now we also can generate the report of all the books. Now, for example, here there are books by category, and here is the most borrowed book, which is the three colors of borrowed, which is the only book that we have borrowed, and overdue books, the table is empty. So this is the basic operation of our project. Now to see the code base, we have various different tabs for the different views we have created in this project. This is the authors tab. This is the books tab, which realizes every functionality and also the GUI part of the books tab. This is the same for the borrowings tab. This is for the categories tab. This is for the members tab, and this is for the reports tab. So in this project, we have used an object-oriented approach with creating a class library management system, which has a constructor which initializes all the values and has different functions set up for different categories. For example, set up authors tab, set up books tab, instead of borrowing step. Now, if we want to look at the schema of the database, so talking about the schema of our database, we can see all the tables here. Um, so we have six tables which are linked with a foreign key constant, and that, for example, if you want to see the details of the books tab, so we can see that the status is realizes available, borrowed, and lost. That is an enumeration, and its default value is available. That means whenever we enter a new book, it is default available, which it should be also. Now, if you want to see the borrowings table, so in the borrowing table, the book ID is referenced as foreign key from the books table, and also the status is also it is also retained from the table. And in this way, when updating the borrowings table, the books table also automatically gets updated. So, so this is all our project. The GUI is very simple, as our main purpose of creating this project was understanding the database part of the project, and it was well structured with two stored procedure, mainly for borrowing the book and returning the book, and other simple database queries and structures like join and other Dbms queries for completing this project. And our group members are Virat Thapa, Batsal Bsal, and me myself. Handle the database part of the project. That's all up from outside.